Hey guys, welcome to my video for Season 38 War 6 versus TCN. The bans for this war are Herc, Cosmic Ghost Rider, and APOC. We'll be going in with the team of Nick Fury, Rintrah, and Human Torch. We'll be starting out on Path 1A against Captain Marvel movie. We'll be taking that with Rintrah just because he shuts down pretty much everything she does. Also shuts down the regen node as long as you can keep your neutralizers active. And if she does armor break you, it does give you a little bit of attack increase. So not too much to worry about here. Yes, the one issue is that Rintrah doesn't deal energy damage except for like the last hit of his special 2, so you're not going to get that extra mystic damage unless you're attacking her block. So yeah, just self-rooting here in the corner just to build up ruptures, letting her toss off her special 1. And then hoping this SP2 crits with 28 ruptures. It doesn't, but does enough damage. It does trigger her binary, but because of the neutralize, she doesn't get any Furies or the indestructible. So yeah, now we're just baiting out this special 2 and block it. And then just try to finish her off with these ruptures and basic attacks. But the self-rooting on specials is a little bit weird when you're used to dexing them a certain way, but it's just something you have to get used to with champs like Rintrah. And then next up we have a SpiderHam on the Masochism over Time node. We'll be going in with Human Torch with the pre-fight, just to avoid any of the Masochism damage and or the Masochism regen, and we'll also be playing the stun immune and throwing on an invulnerability boost because SpiderHam can do wild things with his animations and come up with some heavies out of absolutely nowhere. So just trying to avoid anything crazy like that happening. And then because it's TCN, pretty much every single defender on the map is rank 4. So the block damage isn't pleasant, but it's still a Human Torch pre-fight fight, so there's not a whole lot to worry about here. Just, yeah, trying to get him to actually use a special. But sometimes SpiderHam just never wants to do it. Always wants to back you in the corner. Getting a nice little bit of regen from the taunts. And, yeah, just the taunts also reduce our attack, so it's taking a little bit longer than it would without the taunts. But, yeah, not a whole lot to worry about as long as you're playing this stun immune, so you don't get his poppers on you, and you always throw your special 1 so he doesn't get any nonsense up and evade. And next up, we'll be going over to 8B against Sersi. I'll be taking this with Rintrah. The one annoying thing here is the enhanced parry armor up, because every time an opponent of Sersi gains an armor, she gains a transmutation, and if you don't have it neutralized up already, it's going to give her a buff feeding Rich Get Richer, or if you miss a parry and she triggers glancing. So now, we're pretty much going to be losing the Rich Get Richer race most of this fight. And then we forget that for each buff on her, our defense ability accuracy is reduced, so our parry failed there. And it failed once again. Going pretty well. Just missing 2 of our indestructibles in a Rich Get Richer fight. But she does throw off her special 2, which ends up consuming her transmutations. It tries to convert those to Furies. Went up close, but with the neutralize it prevents that. And then just trying to keep that neutralize on her with these little bit of hits while baiting out specials. Other than that, it's just hit her as much as we can, and then due to conduit, we can't knock her down without us other than a special 3. And then, yeah, see there, she got the transmutation because we got an armor and neutralize wasn't up. So now we're hoping that she throws off a special 2 just to consume it. Otherwise, we'll probably end up eating a special 3. I am running max inequity, so all of those ruptures are going to be reducing her attack. But yeah, there the special 2 consumes her transmutation, but once again we parry and she gets another one, but it's the end of the fight. Thankfully she cooperated and threw those specials instead of just continually powering up. And then next up we have Gorr on Rich Get Richer aspect of evolution. I completely forgot about him getting the vicious permanent buffs due to willpower when I was assigning this. So this is going to be a pretty painful fight. Luckily we do have the invulnerability boost up, so just going to be hoping that he plays nice with his permanent power gain, and that our ruptures are able to reduce his attack enough that it's not going to be too big of an issue, but the vicious buffs are also increasing his debuffs on us. So here we've got our first special 3 that we'll take, since he didn't want to use any of his specials. Normally this would also give him all of his magic buffs to deal extra damage over time debuffs to us, but the neutralize prevents all of that. And here, luckily, he's generous in throwing off his special. And then there was a second where the neutralize was down, so we ended up getting the Fury from one of the nodes. That gives him a Fury after a bar of power. But here I'm not sure why I didn't throw off that special 2. Seems like a little bit of an oversight, but he's close enough to dead that it's not going to matter. But could have got it down with a little bit better. Yeah, just little things like that. Just still making some mistakes here and there. And then next up, we have America Chavez on 53. The stun reflection, polka dot powered node. So we're going in here with Human Torch with pre-fight off. Going in with a combat regen because I've done this fight before and it's never been an issue. And then here we we turn off the stun reflection, so we're able to use the stun vulnerability node to our advantage. And then here I didn't take dexterity off, so now MD is going to go wild the rest of this fight as she's throwing heavies to build her dimensions. So I couldn't counter that one. And here I pushed her to her orange mode, so this special 2 is not unblockable. Throw off a wild SB1 to try to get out of the corner. Now she's got 2 utopian parallels, so any more heavies where we end there, it's going to trigger a random dimension, like right there. It triggers the negative dimension, which would have made this special 2 unblockable. And here we're just hoping that this special 2 finishes her off, or we are completely dead. And thankfully, we were able to get a couple incinerates on her, so that stun did not reflect back onto us. But once again, a pretty sloppy fight. And then next up, we have Mr. Fantastic on node 55 with Nick Fury. A pretty easy fight as long as you're able to try to keep up your tactical charges to prevent his evade. And we turn on the advanced power boost just to try to get advantage of that. And then we also get parried and take a combo to build up our tactical charges. That was completely planned, was not just me being late on the heavy. All just to build up our tactical charges. And then here, yeah, we're just throwing off the special ones, and then since Nick purifies debuffs, there's no worry about that. So now we've pretty much turned off his evade as long as we can throw out special ones and get Mr. Fantastic, throw a special one, and then for some reason there we eat the tail end of Mr. Fantastic's special one, which is so easy to get out of. Yeah, I mean, it's still not a worry just because we're able to heal up from Mr. Fantastic's debuffs that he applies to us. Just taking a little bit of brute force damage here and there as well. But pretty straightforward fight and just using Nick Fury to bleed him out. Uh, yeah, still some sloppy play by me throughout this war. Need to get back and focus a little bit more during each fight just so I don't make any more mistakes. Yeah, you can see Mr. Fantastic just coming down here. And I really expected that last hit to immediately knock him out. I was a little surprised that there was a delay. Not entirely sure why deep wounds didn't trigger there. Let's go to the stats. Yeah, 37-1 on the season. Nick Fury's starting to catch up to Corvus, and we're starting to use a few more champions here and there. Up to a streak of 17, so long way to get back up to 100. That's it for this war. Thanks for watching.